take your time and tell me, but it's something else. Love and hate you when you doing something, but you never do. I feel like we got it, but nobody's stopping. Nothing ain't popping when you get it. Don't it? Something ain't popping. I feel it.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Devvon Raw in raw form, and welcome to another Help Me Devvon Raw review. And today, in this Help Me Devvon Raw review, we'll be looking at the Audient Evo 4 recording bundle, which is an all-in-one encompassing studio that is extremely portable, and for the price point, is worth your time in checking this out. Basically, what you get inside of the recording bundle is you get an audio interface, you get a microphone, you also get a pair of headphones to boot, and you have 2 microphone preamps as well as instrument inputs, and then you have an output here as well that goes for your speakers or monitors. So you're not just tied down to your headphones, which you actually have a separate output for your headphones in the front of the unit, but you can also use this with your speakers or whatever monitor system that you're using. For me, I plug this thing right into my PreSonus monitor station, and I can basically have a ton of different speakers attached to this thing at the same time. So you'll notice we have the 48 volts here as well, which is awesome, which is atypical of pretty much interfaces to make sure that you can get phantom power to your microphones. And then you have 1 and 2 as far as the different inputs. You basically would press 1, you can set your actual preamp volume. You can press 2 and set that preamp volume different from 1, of course. Pretty self-explanatory. What you'll also notice is this little green button right here, and basically this is a smart gain. Now, this is for people that I feel like are more new to recording or really not too good at being recording engineers, so to speak. This button right here, if you press it, it'll basically just use your input signal and decide what the gain will actually be. So instead of you trying to figure out your microphone gain or your line gain with your guitars or whatever, you can press this button and it'll determine the most optimal volume or gain for that sound coming into the actual interface. Now, of course, the point of this, and Audient was so gracious to send me a unit, and I will tell you just right off bat that I was actually pretty impressed with it. Even the presentation of everything felt pretty quality, if that makes any sense. It's a nice finish on all the pieces. Even the shock mount felt pretty heavy duty, to be honest with you. So let's do this. Let's listen to this audio interface and recording bundle in a couple different applications. Let's listen to it for what it sounds like as far as in a speaking tone. Let's hear what it sounds like in music, and then let's also hear what it sounds like in comparison to a microphone that is priced much higher than this actual microphone that actually comes with it is priced. So let's get to that right now. Okay. This is my microphone test between the Evo Audient microphone that comes with the recording bundle with the Evo 4. And then this is the, on my left-hand side, this is the AKG C414 XLS, one of my favorite microphones, pretty much my go-to microphone when it comes to everything. Now, I'm doing this side-by-side comparison, basically to give you guys an idea of what it sounds like and how this Audient Evo microphone stacks up against a microphone that is very well known and a lot higher of a price point as well. Now, what I noticed right off bat is I noticed that the AKG C414 has a ton of more detail in the mid-range than the Evo. So that's the biggest thing that I could take for you. Listen very closely to the tone and to the presence of my vocals when I switch between the AKG C414 and the Audient Evo 4 microphone that comes with the recording bundle. I noticed that right off rip that the mid-range detail is a lot stronger in the AKG, but I'm still impressed with the Audient Evo for its price point being somewhat just holding up and not sounding bad or like there's a huge lack of detail in the mid-range. I'm also noticing that when it comes to my plosives and stuff like that, that the AKG C414 picks up more of that off the strength of, yes, this microphone does have a little bit of has a really nice way of capturing low end in stuff like that when it comes to warmth and things of that nature, and it's a little bit softer. Now, to say it doesn't matter or mean for that range is that it doesn't it doesn't mean that this microphone lacks that. It's just that this microphone may suit you better if you don't want that characteristic. So don't think that just because one microphone has one thing and another doesn't, that means that one is better than the other in that regard. The only thing that I really notice is that it has that immense amount of detail in the mid-range, which is the reason why I have this microphone in the first place as far as the C414. Once again, I'm listening to this and I'm listening to the S's and T's. And seeing how these things handle sibilance, I'm seeing how they handle sibilance, and what I'm noticing is the Audient is actually holding it pretty well. It's not bad. Now, I've heard other microphones handle sibilance, and they are destroyed by it, and that's usually a very quick way to spot really cheap gear. But the reason why gear has been getting better at lower price points is because back in the day, the technology that we had then as opposed to now, it costs so much less to get a better microphone. So that's why I always tell people, when it comes to newer equipment, don't be afraid to try it, because these people at these companies have basically found new and innovative ways to get those expensive components and the circuitry and all those types of things. The technology has gotten better and it's become cheaper to make. So you can get a really great microphone for a low price point. Don't be fooled by the price. I always tell people, try it out for yourself, see how it sounds, and then go from there. So this is basically me switching back and forth between both of these microphones and getting an idea of what they sound like side by side. Make your own inference and choose how you like the sound of it. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a test of me trying out this microphone from Audient as well as the Evo 4 interface with processing, EQ, reverb, just to see how it translates into music and how well I can mix the audio coming from this. So let's give it a try. Do not laugh at me. I'm going to say absolutely nothing and a bunch of gibberish, and I'm going to fire off whatever I feel. Let's do it.
Whenever you just told me something, I feel like we can do it something. Baby, what you talking about? I feel like nobody can tell us, walk it out, yeah. Take your time and tell me, but it's something else. Love and hate you when you do it something, but you never do. I feel like we got it, but nobody's stopping. Nothing ain't popping when you get it. Don't it, something ain't popping. I feel it. Blood on your tickets, money on the brownies, yeah. Somebody gonna wanna stone about it. I love and hate you, don't tunnel date you. I love it just when I get you on the wind with something else. Love it when you by yourself. It's something when you get your wealth. But everybody knows my wealth. What you say, you know when when I give myself more to what to you.
Okay, that's enough. Okay, now I messed up. I did a bunch of crazy things. But you hear what I'm getting out of the microphone, just recording and doing some processing. I'm actually using one of my Help Me Devvon templates available at helpmedevvon.info, shameless plug. And yeah, that's my test of hearing how this microphone, audio interface, and everything with the Audient Evo 4 recording bundle sounds. Now, let's wrap this up. Long story short, I always show you guys stuff that I feel like can be advantageous to you. Now, for the beginner or for someone that moves around a lot and is just looking for a simple, clean signal to have on the go, I think this is extremely powerful at the price point of $249. I mean, when I think about other interfaces in this price range, I mean, to get the interface, the microphone, the shock mount, and all those things for $249 is pretty incredible for the sound that you're getting. Now, granted, it is on the less expensive side of an interface, and there are shortcomings of the interface, and I'd be remiss if I didn't bring that to your attention. For instance, something that I noticed with the preamps was that if you crank these preamps pretty high, you will hear the noise from the noise floor. And if you record too low, you will introduce noise into your signal by being too close to the noise floor. Now, is this a huge mega problem for you? Sure, it isn't. If you record properly using the interface, you can avoid those two things and basically mitigate that if you have a better understanding of it. Play around with it and figure that out. But that was one of the things that I noticed about it. For the most part, once again, this interface is $249. I let you hear it in a bunch of different applications so that you can get an idea for it. You can use your microphone with it, or you can use a microphone that comes with the entire recording bundle. I'll make sure I leave a link in the description below to actually get it. It supports the channel if you get it from the link below. I would really appreciate it, but also just always know I would not recommend something or even show anything on the channel that I didn't feel was worth it, especially at $249 at the time of this recording. So I hope that was helpful. That was my review on the Audient Evo 4 recording bundle. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us at Help Me Devvon on the Instagram, and also make sure you join our Discord community with a bunch of aspiring engineers and artists like yourself giving game and gems to each other on the daily. So I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, you guys.